first up on the list, I already have my wheel removed. So first, obviously you're gonna wanna jack up the car, get it supported by jack stands, get the wheel off, and now I'm going to work on getting this caliper off and this caliper bracket so I can get my disc off. First, I have my brake wear sensor here. I'm just gonna gently pull that out. So yeah, it just gently clips out there. I'm gonna bring it out of the, there's a little clip here on the electronic parking brake. Bring that out, just kind of have it out of the way. Next, I'm gonna disconnect my electric parking brake. Okay, so I got that guy disconnected. Next, I'm going to remove the caliper, and it's just the two standard 14mm bolts here that go into the pin sliders. Your pin slider may also move like I'm doing, so I just have an adjustable wrench, just tight enough. It doesn't take much just to hold the pin slider, so it doesn't have to be like perfectly tight there, but just tight enough to prevent that thing from rotating so you can get the bolt out the back. Same story. Shoot. I had that problem last time I did brakes, which was not leaving that bottom bolt in. So leave the bottom bolt in to prevent the caliper from rotating out like it just did. And then you'll have to do the same thing up here. So I'm just putting this wrench, like I said, just to kind of prevent it from spinning. So mine, the crescent wrench was enough to hold in this, the bolt part of the slider's pretty narrow there. So I actually have a 17mm open on there, and that's enough to hold it. Okay, so the caliper actually sits pretty good up here, but I will be hammering and hammering stuff and loosening stuff, so I don't want it to fall off. So I'm just gonna tie it just to this upper control arm, or this shock, just enough to keep it in place there. The bolts holding the caliper bracket on are held on with 12-point head bolts, I guess. So instead of having like your standard 6-point head, you have to use either, if you have a 12-point 15mm socket, or the closed end on a 15mm wrench, because they normally are 12 points. So I'm just gonna put that on the bolt here, and then I'm gonna lose some leverage. Those are gonna be quite tight, so I'm just gonna grab a pipe. Just watch your fingers, don't pinch anything. That one's spinning, so that's good. I guess I also forgot to show you earlier, the reason why I'm replacing this bearing. This one, it's not neutral, but it's spinning quite a bit, or making quite a bit of noise when I was spinning it. And then, you also can't see the play. Yeah, there you go. I also had a lot of play in the bearing, so yeah, that's not a loose rotor on the hub. That's the play in that wheel bearing. So that's the main reason why I'm replacing it. I was gonna say, can you just turn that down a tad?
Yeah. Oh, you're recording.
Okay, thank you. I don't want to mess with your country music session there.
No, I don't.
Don't want to kill the party. Okay, so we got that bracket off. So next up, we're going to have this rotor hold down screw. It's a T50. Make sure you have the right size, because you do not want to strip that out. Of course, mine is tight in there. Try a little bit bigger oomph. I really don't want to strip this. Okay, good. Awesome. I'm so glad that did not strip. And another good thing is our rotor is loose, so we don't have to hammer that off. So next up, we're going to take this big dust shield off, and it's 3 T27 screws. Well, that is one way to kill the flow of work. I thought I'd have an axle nut socket large enough. Looks like I do not, so I'm gonna have to order or buy a specialty socket. I'll let you know obviously once I get the right size. But in the meantime, originally I was actually gonna try to get this axle out of here and then press out the wheel bearing while it's in the spindle, like attached to the car. But it looks like they designed it to have, because yeah, I was worried about popping ball joints and stuff, but there's no ball joints on this thing. It just has a bunch of control arms. So I think they designed it for the whole spindle just to come off if you ever need to service the axle or the bearing. So in the meantime, I guess I'll prepare to get the spindle off. So I'm just gonna crack all these big bolts loose. And then I'm gonna have my ABS sensor here and then my brake wear sensor bracket or whatever, take that off. Pretty much just get it ready to take this whole spindle off once I get this nut off. So this top bolt is a 21 mil. Just putting a wrench on the backside there. Okay, well, we're 1 for 1. Looks like that's gonna come out and move for us. Next we have this upper control arm front bolt. It's an 18 mil. This one I'm not so lucky to get my impact in here, so old school breaker bar. Looks like that's gonna break loose, so that's good. Okay, we are back. The size of socket you need is a 36 millimeter for the axle nut. Hopefully this just zips right off with my impact here. So that came right off, so that's good. Next up on the list, now that I have that axle nut loose, pretty much what I have set up here is a hub puller. This came in a slide hammer kit I have. You can rent them at part stores or buy them on Amazon like I did. So I have the hub puller bolted, and instead of threading in the hammer portion, I have a threaded in here. So the idea is I'm going to tighten this. It's going to push the axle out of the bearing. And because this is a two-piece bearing, like we have the flange that's like pushed into the bearing, I'm hoping that the flange slides out of the bearing at the same time. Like ideally, I'd like to get this flange off. So let's see what happens here. Okay, so that didn't work. That pretty much just destroyed this cheap tool. So on to the second plan. Since our first plan didn't work at all, second plan is to remove the whole hub. I was trying to take, well, maybe not quite yet. I did see a video online where someone tilted the hub forward. I'm just gonna remove the whole hub, honestly, because I'm gonna have to get this flange pressed out one way or another as well. Yeah, I have a bearing press. I'm gonna try to do it with like a little hand bearing press tool, like where it has like the cup and the socket and stuff. If not, I do have access to a hydraulic press back at like in my town away from me. So I think it's just gonna be easier. Just rip the Band-Aid off, get this spindle off. I don't love doing this, but since this shield has 3 screws holding it on, I'm just gonna cut the little part here so I can get this shield off easily. Something like that. Next up, I'm going to take out the ABS sensor just to make sure that doesn't become a headache for us. So it's going to be that same T27 screw. Looks like mine's moving, so that's good. Just slowly work it out. Don't break it. Nice. Mine came out without breaking, so that's awesome. I'm just spraying some penetrant because I'm gonna have to slide this off the axle later, so just let this work in while we do the other stuff. Next up, I saw a trick online actually where some guy just let off this fitting going into the airbag to take the tension off the airbag. I thought that was quite neat. Because then, yeah, once we loosen up these bolts, I'm not going to try to push that control arm down like crazy. See if I can get it to leak out here. So I'm quite close to get it to leak out. Even if I just push it to let out some air. Yeah, just to create a leak to get some of that pressure out of that bag. And I already have the car locked in access height, so it shouldn't use the compressor to try to correct this. And if I hear the compressor kicking on, then I'm gonna go up and disconnect the battery. Yes, that's taking the pressure off, which is good. And while that's working, I will continue getting all these other bolts loose and off. So I'm just taking off this lower forward control arm. This is just a 21 mil. So I just took out the big long bolt for our shock absorber here. Getting pretty close to getting this thing off. Just gonna take this upper control arm off here, which is 21 mil. So the last thing I'm doing before I take my main control arm bolt off here and try to get this knuckle off is there's one more bracket that holds like our parking brake sensor or parking brake ABS sensor or brake pad wear sensor, whatever. That's just a T27 again, so I'm just taking that off. So I got that little screw off. Like I said, T27 head just on the back, the knuckle here. So our last control arm, lower control arm bolt there. This should come off. And yeah, so we have the axle still stuck. So I'm gonna put the big axle nut on there and just give it taps with the hammer. Hopefully that pops it out. Try not to damage those axle threads. Okay, I'm gonna try this tool one more time. Now everything's kind of loosened up. Okay, good. That time it actually did what I wanted. So that's good. So now I have this thing out. Just looking at it, I bought like I said, that little cup and die bearing press kit, but the problem I see with that is I need to get this hub out. First, like you gotta press, this hub is pressed in the bearing, and I don't really see an easy way to get that out. So I called a friend, and luckily in town here, he actually has a bearing press. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna go see if we can press this out, press a new one in quickly, and then I'll let you know if there's any hang-ups or anything to comment on to get the new bearing in. So we'll be right back in a sec. Okay, so I managed to get the new bearing pressed in there. Yeah, you'll definitely have to have a hydraulic press. I'm saying it now, you will not be able to remove that with hand tools or like with the generic bearing press. I have seen some guys do it. They have like a special hub press tool. So for sure you'll need some sort of hub tool and then the bearing tool or a bearing press. And then once we press it out, so we just press the hub out. The snap ring behind the hub does kind of a bit of a bear to get out, but it came out. Press the old bearing out, greased up the new one, clean everything up, new bearing in, snap ring, grease up the hub in. So yes, that will be the toughest part of this job, is getting that hub and bearing in and out. Otherwise, everything has been pretty reasonable to get apart here. I'll put everything back together and let you know if there's any hiccups. Just a little tip for you guys when you're putting the suspension back together. It's a good rule of thumb to have the car, like obviously if you have it on a lift or jack stands, the wheels are sagged down. So it's a good rule of thumb to have it at general ride height when you torque up like all the rubber bushings. So I just took a big piece of wood in a jack before I filled up or like tightened the air suspension because it's still loose. I moved up the control arm assembly until the hub was approximately level ride height and then torqued everything up. And then also don't forget to tighten up your air suspension fitting. All right guys, that's pretty much it. Went back together pretty much how it came apart. No really snags or hangups. Overall, I actually found that job easier than I expected as far as, I mean, maybe it's good, I guess, that this is a 2016, so it's only 9 years old. I mean, it's still getting up there. Lower K, so I was really worried about like rusted bolts and bushings and all that stuff, but overall it wasn't too bad. If you do plan on doing this, I'm gonna go ahead and say you either need like a very specialty hub pulling tool, or your best bet is just to get a hydraulic press to press that hub out, take out the snap ring, press bearing out, new bearing in, new hub, all that stuff. So overall, wasn't too bad if you have the right tools. Thanks for watching. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. And if it was, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Have a good day.